Hi, today we move to chapter 5, cost of electricity. So lesson outcome. So by the end of this chapter, students should be able to estimate the electric bills, compare Malaysia tariff with other countries, specifically with the US, United States, and obtain the reactive power capacity of capacitor bank to improve the power factor, and define the energy efficiency. So, as an introduction, production of a transmission distribution of energy involve important costs. Okay? So there are two types of cost, which is fixed cost and then operating cost. For the fixed cost, it involves the depreciation charges against buildings, dams, turbines, generators, circuit breakers, transformers, transmission lines, and other equipments used in the production, transmission, and the distribution of the electrical energy. So another cost is operating cost, which consists of salaries, the fuel cost, administration, and any other daily or weekly expenses. Okay, so these two costs will contribute to the energy tariff, especially in our Malaysia country. Okay? So this is the electricity industry model in Malaysia. So from the energy resources, we have many types of resources such as hydro, we have coal, we have gas. So from these resources, we have the generation station. So this generation station, depending on the type of resources, either is a hydro station or coal-based station or gas station. So this generation station will produce electricity. So from this station, we have to transmit power towards the load center. Okay, because this is usually the generation station is placed far away from the load center. So we have to transmit huge amount of power through the transmission system or transmission line. So most of the time, the transmission system will use high voltage transmission line. Okay? Why we use high voltage? We use high voltage to reduce power loss as well as to reduce the voltage drops in this transmission system. Okay, so by reducing power loss and voltage drop, we also can reduce the cost of the losses. Okay, so from the transmission system, power will reach the distribution substations. In these distribution substations, power will be distributed to the loads. So in this example, we have three types of major loads, which is domestic loads, commercial loads, and industrial loads. Okay. So in Malaysia, we have Tenaga Nasional Berhad who supply, transmit, and distribute the electricity power in Peninsular Malaysia. So this TNB is regulated under the Energy Commissions or Suruhanjaya Tenaga in Bahasa Malaysia. Okay, so same goes to the Sabah. We have the states in Sabah. So Sabah Electricity Sdn Bhd is also regulated under the Energy Commissions, and we have Sarawak, which is different with the Peninsular Malaysia and Sabah. Sarawak is regulated under the state government. Okay, you see. So for Peninsular Malaysia and Sabah, this is the structure of electricity industry. So at the top is a KETA. KETA is Kementerian Tenaga, Teknologi Hijau dan Air, or in English we call it as a Ministry of Energy, Green Technology and Water. So at the top is our ministry, and then under this ministry we have Energy Commission, who regulates all the regulations for generation, transmission, distribution, to take care of the utilities and all, as well as to the users, customers. Okay, so this Energy Commission, we have under the Energy Commission we have the generation, we have IPP, Independent Power Producer, we have Tenaga Nasional Berhad Generation, and we have Sabah Electricity Sdn Bhd. This for the generation. After the generation, the power will go through the transmission system. So for the transmission system, we have TMB transmissions in Peninsular Malaysia. And then we have SESB, Sabah Electricity 9 Berhad in Sabah for the transmission system maintenance and so on. After that, we have distributions. For the distribution, we have TMB distribution and its SESB. And finally, from the distribution, we supply to the load center, which is domestic, commercial, industrial, public lighting, and agriculture. This is the loads. If you look at this is the electricity industry in Malaysia, the structure. Okay, this is governance from the ministry to the energy commissions and generation to the transmission, distribution, and loads. So this is for Sarawak. As we mentioned earlier, the Sarawak have different structure. Start with the Ministry of Public Utilities Policy Development and Regulator, so straight towards the generations, transmission, distribution, and loads. They don't have energy commission because the regulator is placed under the state's ministry, okay, under this ministry. So for the generation, we have also the independent power producers, and then Sabah Electricity Berhad. For the transmissions, it's controlled by Sabah, Sarawak Electricity Berhad. It's also Sarawak Electricity Berhad for the transmission. For the distribution, also controlled by Sarawak Electricity Berhad. And finally, we have loads. Okay, we have domestic, commercial, industrial, public lighting, and so on. Okay, this is electricity industry in Sarawak. So next, we move to this energy source. If you look at Malaysia electricity supply, so electricity in Malaysia is powered mainly by natural gas 54.4% and coal 40.2%. Hydropower and oil make up the remainder. So if you look at this, we can see that 90% of, maybe around 94%, 94.6% power is being generated by using natural gas and coal. That's why when the price of coal or natural gas increases, the electricity tariff in Malaysia also increases as well because of this fact. Okay. Power, hydropower, and others make up maybe around 5%, 5.something% only. Okay. So this electricity tariff, cost of electricity from generation to distribution before reaching the end users will be translated into tariff. Voltage by the TMB is set as below. So voltage levels, supply voltage. So low voltage level, single phase or three phase. For single phase we have 240 volts. For three phase we have 415 volts. This is considered as low voltage. For medium voltage, voltage from 6.6 kV until 66 kV. So this nominal voltage level is 6.6, 11 kV, 22 kV, 33 kV, and 66 kV. Upper than 66, usually the nominal voltage level is 132 kV and 275 kV, and we have another one 500 kV. This high voltage usually used for the transmission system. Okay. This customer bill. So the bills may be different right now because they already changed the outlook of the bills, but the data in the bills are almost similar. So we have account number, station code, deposit. So this deposit depend on the users. If you are commercial building, commercial under commercial tariff, you have to pay different amount of money. Let's say for a shop, three-phase shop, you have to pay around 1,500. For your house, maybe around 100 or 300, depending on the single phase or three phase that you use. Okay. So we have name of customers, all the data. Okay. So we have all this data. So what can I highlight over here is meter readings. So about 12 is meter readings. So the rest you can read what is all the data all about. So but I want to highlight about the meter readings code because different codes have different meanings. So let's say for the normal readings, so every month TMB staff will go to your house to read the data. This is normal reading. We have special readings. So we have average. So the staff don't need to go to your house, but they just based on the average. So sometimes they use estimates. Maybe this is what happened during the MCO, movement control orders, or PKP. So during this time, the TMB staff cannot go to your house to read the meter reading, so they just estimate the bill of your house. But this estimation, they have their own specific calculation, so that they will not overcharge the customers. And sometimes they have final readings or vacation. Okay? This is 5 types of meter reading. So if the TMB staff did not come to your house to read the meters, so sometimes they have their specific type of readings, either average estimates, special reading, and so on. Okay. So typical rate structures. Okay. This is tariff that's available in Malaysia. So the Malaysia tariff categories, we have first one is the domestic tariff, applies to the consumers occupying private dwellings which are not used to carry out any businesses, such as your house, apartments, and so on. Okay. Second one is a commercial tariff. This commercial tariff applies to consumers occupying or operating premises for commercial purpose. Example, shops, commercial buildings, so supermarkets, and so on. That's all under commercial tariff. Third one is industrial tariff. This industrial tariff applies to consumer engaging in manufacturing, quarrying, and pumping for water treatment plants. So factories is under this industrial tariff. Water treatment plants also fall under this industrial tariff. Okay. So there is sub-categories such as mining tariff, which applies to the consumer utilizing most parts of electricity consumed for extracting minerals. This is under mining. Street lighting applies to the consumer utilizing electricity for public lighting, neons and flood lighting. Top-up and standby services applies to co-generators utilizing a single primary energy source to generate sequentially 2 different forms of useful energy. And then we have special agriculture tariff, which is for the consumer who conducting specific agricultural activities strictly related to the agricultural cultivation and breeding, such as livestock, aquaculture, horticulture, pumping for irrigation, drainage, and so on. This is a typical rate structure in Malaysia.